Gene Hackman's name has become synonymous with unforgettable performances. From gritty detectives to sinister villains, Hackman's versatility made him one of Hollywood's most respected and admired actors. But beyond the films, Hackman's life story is one of transformation, triumph, and tragedy. His final years, spent in the peaceful surroundings of Santa Fe, New Mexico, became as intriguing as his Hollywood career. In 2025, after a long private life, Hackman's passing set off a series of events that would once again place him in the public eye. This is the video of the man, the actor, and the legacy he leaves behind. The rise of a cinematic legend. Hackman's journey to Hollywood fame wasn't one of privilege or easy access. Born on January 30th, 1930 in San Bernardino, California, Hackman's early life was marked by hardship. His parents divorced when he was just 13, a loss that shaped his young adulthood. At 16, seeking an escape, he enlisted in the U.S. Marine Corps and served during World War II. After the war, Hackman returned to civilian life and briefly studied journalism at the University of Illinois. But the call of acting was stronger, so he left school and moved to Los Angeles to pursue his dream. Hackman found his footing at the Pasadena Playhouse, where he studied alongside future legends like Dustin Hoffman and Robert Duvall. His big break came in 1967 with Bonnie and Clyde, where he played Buck Barrow, a role that earned him his first Academy Award nomination. Hackman's ability to portray complex characters was already apparent. In 1971, he solidified his place in Hollywood history with The French Connection, where he portrayed Detective Jimmy Popeye Doyle. His role earned him an Oscar for Best Actor, a distinction that marked the beginning of his dominance in Hollywood. But Hackman didn't stop there. He showed his range in 1978 with his role as the menacing Lex Luthor in Superman, cementing his reputation as one of the best villains in film. Hackman's Oscar-winning career proved that he could play any role, whether as a hero or villain, and his range made him a sought-after talent in Hollywood for over 4 decades. But as successful as his career was, Hackman's desire for privacy would eventually take him far from the Hollywood spotlight. A life beyond Hollywood. By the late 1980s, Hackman had achieved every accolade Hollywood could offer, but the toll of constant media attention and the fast-paced nature of the film industry began to wear on him. Seeking a more peaceful life, Hackman turned to Santa Fe, New Mexico, where he purchased a 12-acre property in the early 1990s. Nestled among the beautiful southwestern landscapes, the property offered Hackman the serenity he craved after decades of Hollywood hustle. In Santa Fe, Hackman embraced a slower pace of life. His days were filled with painting and writing, pursuits that had always been close to his heart. Hackman's artwork was featured in local galleries, and his novels, such as Wake of the Perdido Star and Escape from Andersonville, revealed a new side of his creativity. His writing, often centered on historical themes, showcased his passion for storytelling in a way that differed from his films, but still reflected his deep understanding of human emotion and resilience. Santa Fe allowed Hackman to live as a member of a small, tight-knit community, rather than the glitzy, high-pressure world of Hollywood. He was often seen cycling through the town, or enjoying quiet meals at local restaurants with his wife, Betsy Arakawa. Despite stepping away from acting, Hackman remained quietly involved in Hollywood. His films continued to be celebrated, but Hackman enjoyed his privacy, often avoiding public events and film premieres. He had found solace in Santa Fe, a place where he could continue to create, but away from the intense media scrutiny. The enigmatic end. Then, in February 2025, the world was rocked by the news that Gene Hackman had passed away at the age of 95. His death was not entirely unexpected, as his health had been in decline for years. Hackman had struggled with heart disease and Alzheimer's, and his passing came after a long private battle with these conditions. However, the tragedy was compounded by the fact that just days later, his wife, Betsy Arakawa, also passed away at 65 due to hantavirus pulmonary syndrome, a rare disease transmitted by rodents. The discovery of their deaths shocked the public and left many questions unanswered. Authorities found the couple's bodies in their home after a concerned maintenance worker raised alarms. While Hackman's death was attributed to natural causes related to heart disease and Alzheimer's, Betsy's passing from hantavirus left many in disbelief. The suddenness of both deaths, so close together, cast a shadow over the event. What were the odds of both dying in such a short span of time? Was this a tragic coincidence or something more? News of their passing spread quickly, with tributes pouring in from Hackman's colleagues, friends, and fans. His legacy as an actor was unquestioned, and the world mourned the loss of one of Hollywood's finest. However, with both Hackman and Arakawa gone, the next chapter of their story would take a dark turn, one that would involve legal battles, family disputes, and a struggle over their estate. The unraveling of the estate. With the sudden deaths of both Gene Hackman and his wife, Betsy Arakawa, the couple's estate became the center of controversy. Hackman had left his entire fortune, estimated at $80 million, to Betsy, excluding his 3 children from a previous marriage. This was a decision that would come to haunt his family. While Hackman's will was clear in its intent, the timing of both their deaths created a legal quagmire. Hackman's estate plan was straightforward. His assets would go to Betsy, and if she passed before him, everything would be divided among his children. But with both of them dead within weeks of each other, the will became a source of conflict. According to New Mexico law, when both spouses die within a short period of time, the estate may be subject to interstate succession laws, which could grant Hackman's children a portion of the estate. The legal battle that followed was intense. Hackman's children, who had been left out of the will, were now fighting for a share of the fortune. Christopher Hackman, Gene's son, publicly expressed his frustration with the situation, stating, "This is not how we imagined honoring our father's legacy." What made matters more complicated was a clause in Betsy's will that stated if both she and Gene passed away within 90 days of each other, their assets would be donated to charity. This further complicated the legal proceedings, as Hackman's children now had to contend with the possibility that their father's fortune might not go to them at all. The estate's fate now rested in the hands of the courts, and the legal wrangling would likely take years to resolve. The legacy lives on. Despite the controversies surrounding his estate, Gene Hackman's legacy remains secure. His career as an actor was legendary, and his performances continue to inspire audiences today. Hackman's ability to portray complex, morally ambiguous characters set him apart as one of the finest actors in Hollywood history. His career, spanning over 4 decades, included unforgettable roles in films like The French Connection, Unforgiven, The Conversation, and Superman. Hackman's influence on the film industry is undeniable. He helped redefine what it meant to be a character actor, bringing depth and authenticity to every role he played. His impact can be seen in the performances of countless actors who cite Hackman as a major influence. Though the legal battles over his estate continue, Hackman's contributions to the world of film cannot be overshadowed. His legacy as an actor, author, and artist will live on, ensuring that his name remains firmly etched in the history of cinema. As the courts sort through the complexities of his estate, one thing is certain: Gene Hackman's place in Hollywood history is secure, and his legacy will continue to inspire for generations to come. Family feuds over estates can get messy, but the real shocker? NASA astronauts just returned from a 9-month mission, and their re-entry to Earth came with unexpected drama. If you enjoyed diving into the fascinating life of Gene Hackman, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more deep dives into Hollywood legends, epic stories, and untold histories.